I am not taking personal readings at this time. Please do not get scammed by people posing as me in the comments section. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to my channel, Roseology. So today's pick a card, we are looking into the rare spiritual powers and gifts that you do not know that you have. So these gifts may seem ordinary, as many of our powers are hidden in plain sight, or we use them constantly without even knowing. And there's also gifts that we haven't used in a long time or in lifetimes that we may have fallen out of touch with, but we still have access to, because spiritual gifts are kind of like muscles that need to be consistently worked and exercised in order to strengthen. So we can kind of lose that power, not necessarily lose access to it, but we can just lose the strength in those powers and in those gifts if we're not persistent with using them. So parts of the message will help you pinpoint which gifts may belong to you dependent on different life experiences that you may have had and different behaviors, characteristics, or patterns that you may exude. So this reading and the information in it is meant to be applied to the spiritual gifts you are already aware of. So if you are not somewhat of an experienced intuitive reader or someone that knows how to decipher their intuition, this reading may seem a little bit confusing. It's not a very beginner friendly pick a card. So yeah, just make sure that you are tuned into your intuition to know which parts of the message apply to you. Okay, so let's just jump straight into the disclaimers and the meditation. So obviously this is a general reading, meaning that it will resonate with who it is meant to resonate with. Tarot does not control or dictate your life. If you hear something that you do not like and think that you're just doomed to that reality, you are not using my readings correctly. My readings are for confirmation and not answers. So realize that at the end of the day, your free will and what you do with it determines your outcomes, and not a pick a card reading on YouTube. So please be responsible, be accountable, and use this as a guide to help decipher the messages your spiritual team has been trying to send you all along. For those of you that want to participate in the meditation, this is a general reading, so you have to be synced into the energy of this reading in order for it to personally apply to you. To help you do that and to help you select a pile with your third eye, not your physical ones, I'm going to be offering a 60-second meditation. Halfway into the meditation, I'm going to be placing crystals for my clairvoyants that like to pick piles with objects on them. After the clairvoyant pile selection, there will be a clairaudient selection where I play a different tone for each pile, and you can select a pile based off of which tone resonates with you the most. If you are drawn to another pile, that is because there is another message for you in that pile. So if you're already, get into a relaxed position, become aware of your entire body, starting with your feet and working that awareness up in sections from the feet to the head. Then take a deep breath in through your nose for around 5 seconds, hold that breath for 3 seconds, and then exhale for 6 to 7 seconds. Then ask your guides, spirit, ancestors, the universe, or all of them to connect you to your higher self so you can receive confirmation as to the unique spiritual powers you possess that you didn't know you had. And for today's pile selection, I am using all of the oracle cards that were used in each of the pile. And so instead of doing the normal pile selection, I decided to just use the oracle card decks today for the pile selection. Okay, so this is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. On pile 1 is green opal. On pile 2 is malachite and nazarite. On pile 3 is pyrite. On pile 4 is fuchsite. All right, and pile number 1, welcome to your reading. So we're going to be starting off with your tarot cards down here to see what spiritual powers do you have that you are unaware of, and as well as how to increase them. So how to increase your spiritual powers will be shown to me on the right with this tarot card on the right, and the spiritual powers that you have that you are not aware of will be shown to me through the tarot card on the left. So let's just get started. Pile 1. So the very first card that we have here is Temperance. Okay. So with Temperance here, we're also going to be pulling some additional oracle cards on camera after I take a look at your Temperance card, or after I take a look at your tarot cards here. But you've got Temperance, pile 1. So water. Water is a very powerful medium for you. It's a very powerful tool, a very powerful element for you, pile 1. You may have some prominent water signs in your, or water energy in your natal chart, or the water houses may have quite a bit of action in them, or some pretty intense aspects to those water houses, which would be the 4th, 8th, and the 12th houses. And those signs would be either Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. But water for sure, pile 1. You also have powers connected to the water and connected to depth. Now, I don't know why, but I'm picking up that some of you don't like water very much, which is why this may seem strange or odd to you, because you're not a water person possibly. But water could be very significant, especially with this, like the image of this hand here, just kind of holding like this water vase. So water may be very, very significant for you. It may be an intricate part as well of you connecting to your own divine gifts. You just may not rely on it as much, possibly. But even if you don't, I'm still sensing that water is something that's really significant for you in your practice. So maybe you really love doing baths. Maybe you like charging water that you drink, charging liquids. Maybe you like the sound of water, the images of water, lakes, streams, things like that, you know. So there may be some ways where you are like drawn to water, and other ways where you kind of repel it almost. I do believe that it is an intricate part of you connecting to your own divine gifts. You just may not rely on it as much. And my left ear is ringing so loudly right now. Okay, so when you are around water or working with it, you may hear voices, words, phrases, messages, music. Your clairaudient abilities may come alive when you are around water specifically, but you have incredible abilities concerning this element, especially the way that you are able to direct it, like with this Temperance card right here. Temperance is basically the Magician card, but amplified times like 1,000. So that means that both of these characters, Temperance and the Magician as well, are in control of creating some sort of desired outcome. And the difference with Temperance is it has reached such a level of enlightenment that it no longer even needs the same tools that it was using in the Magician card. All it needs is focus and intention. But specifically, the only tool or element the angel in Temperance is shown to be working with is water. And it pours these two substances back and forth into each other until it gets the desired outcome. So pile 1, you're gifted at working with water. So this would be like lakes, rivers, oceans, storms, rain, baths, steam, as well as even emotion. Some of you may have a water or a fire moon in tropical or sidereal timing with the Temperance card here. And because Temperance too, even though it's shown to be working with water, Temperance is actually ruled by Sagittarius. So you may have some dominant Sagittarius placements, 9th house placements as well. But you also have a way of using emotion to your advantage, pile 1. You can use your anger, pain, sadness, joy, happiness, love, peace to your benefit. You also have a way of phasing in and out of different emotional states with ease. You can go from feeling one emotion to its total opposite within moments. It's almost as if, though, too, like you emotionally allow yourself to go to certain places. So sometimes you'll actually stop and think like, I didn't like what they just said. am I going to make a scene out of this? Am I going to get upset about this? Like I'm kind of picking that up too with temperance, where it's like you actually have to ask yourself, like, you know what, how do I feel about this? You may have always judged this ability harshly though, or looked at it as an inconvenience, but it's actually a gift of yours. And the reason that you are able to do this is because emotion is a portal for you in terms of attracting and manifesting and even banishing. You have so much emotional depth and intelligence. And also, when you want to manifest, you may be one of those people that don't rely on like elaborate rituals and things of that sort to attract. I feel like you rely on what feels right to you, because that's just temperance. Temperance is in its own element. It's very natural. It's very organic. It's very authentic and genuine. It's just who temperance is. Temperance is just this enlightened being. So it's just able to do certain things. It's not performing. There's no sort of performance going on when we were looking at temperance at all. Temperance isn't doing it for show. It's barely doing it for an actual goal. It's just what temperance is able to do, you know? This is like second nature to temperance, is what I'm trying to say. Temperance's ability to be so enlightened and to perform magic is just temperance being in its own natural element, which is why I feel like you guys just rely on what feels right to you. Some of you, for example, let's say that you're trying to banish like a toxic energy or situation out of your life. You having this intense crying session or writing out your frustrations in your journal or screaming, like your way of directing energies through your emotion. And all you have to do is cry it out, write it out, vent it out in some way. And it's like your spiritual team understands everything that you're saying, what you mean and what you want. And they get right to work because your emotion is so strong, and there's information in it, you know, like emotion is information. That's what moves your spiritual team as well as your frequency. That's how you dial your frequency, and it's your ability to feel. And I'm getting a scripture coming to mind for you specifically, and I know it's Psalms it's Psalms 50 something. I'll write it across the screen, but it goes, "You have taken account of my wanderings, put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your book?" And that scripture talks about how God itself is so closely linked to the heart and our sufferings and our trials and tribulations that it collects every single one of your tears in a bottle. And even when sometimes we're feeling so much and our emotions are so great, like a tidal wave, I just heard for you when it comes to your emotions. So you have this ability to feel every part of your emotional self, and it can overwhelm you sometimes, where you feel so much that you can't always be clear on what you're feeling and why, but God knows every reason for every tear that you've ever shed. So do your angels as well, and your ancestors. Tears are very powerful for you, and I'm telling you, anything with water concerning you is intense, and that's one of your gifts that you are not immediately aware of. Another thing that you're aware of, or not aware of, but another thing that you're gifted with as well, pile one, is the fact that with temperance being here, temperance is ruled by Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules the 9th house, and this is the house of like religion, philosophies, beliefs, things of that nature, resonance, being that it's ruled by Jupiter. So another ability that you have, or another gift that you have here, is the ability to take a different religion or take a different system or set of beliefs and traditions and actually make them work for you. You guys even have the ability to step into certain spaces and work with certain energies. You guys have the ability to communicate with certain energies that aren't connected to you necessarily. So like, let's just say, for instance, that you weren't raised as a certain culture, but maybe you're very drawn to that particular culture and their traditions or their beliefs or their spirits or their energies or their deities or whatever they believe in. You actually have the ability, having not a lot of connection to that, you have the ability to actually contact and communicate and then even work with these energies and these traditions and kind of like fuse it into your own way of doing it, or like your own style. So that's another thing as well. So some of you guys, my pile ones, you guys may be the ones that have like created, in a sense, almost like your own religion, or where you just have like your own philosophical beliefs and ideas and things like that. And it's like you may work with very many different energies, very many different cultures, very many different traditions and beliefs. and philosophies and things of that nature. So when it comes to you guys, that's another gift that you have that you're not aware of, is the fact that you can kind of move in and out of these different beliefs and religions and cultures and things like that, almost like water. You flow like water. And so you're able to just sort of be like, you know what, this month or this week, I'm drawn to this energy. And it's like, it works for you in that moment. It works for you in that moment. So your spiritual journey and your beliefs, pile one, are going to, they're gonna like flow and change and shapeshift a lot like water. A lot like water. It's basically gonna be like if you were to pour some water into any kind of glass or bowl or anything like that, that water is going to take the shape of the container. You are the water, pile one, and whatever you choose to pour yourself into is the container, but you guys are able to do that. And so that's another spiritual gift of yours, or another spiritual power of yours, is having a lot of these connections to different societies and energies and cultures and traditions and things of that nature. Let's check out this card over here to see how to increase spiritual powers. A little bit more may come through. We also have here Judgment. Judgment in reverse. How to increase your spiritual powers. This is funny. It's not for you to determine anybody's karma, pile one, because you have so much emotional intelligence and depth to your soul. You feel very strongly about what others deserve, possibly in terms of penance for the wrongs that they've committed, but this is not your place. Cry out your hurt, your anger, your pain, your suffering, your frustration, your hate. Cry it out, and also stop judging yourself for feeling those darker emotions, because they are natural. They're natural, and it is okay to feel that anger. You struggle with the enlightened side of yourself, this temperance. You struggle with the side of yourself sometimes that says they don't know any better. They're not as spiritually tuned in as I am. And then there's a side of you that wants heads to roll with this Judgment in reverse as well. And so it's like, okay, like one of these reasons that you shift back and forth between mercy and vengeance is simply because of the guides that have been attached to you for many lifetimes down. Or you may consider them ascendant masters, but they have the same energy or spirit as those of almost like Kali Ma, Sekhmet. It could even be like a love energy, a love deity, like a love goddess, like Oshun or something, or Aphrodite. And it's like a lot of people think Oshun, for instance, is just a goddess of love, but she also works with the energy of hate, or she can exude that energy because it's her dual nature or her other side, right? So you can have this loving, forgiving, nurturing energy that can also be extremely dark and vengeful. A lot of that comes from your guides that oversee you and have been connected to you, again, for many lifetimes. Some of you guys have just lived several lives. If you believe in reincarnation, a lot of you have had several different lives from a lot of different backgrounds. And this is why you have a sense of familiarity, even with foreign traditions and religions and beliefs and spiritual practices. This is why you have a level of familiarity. And also as well, again, with that temperance here, temperance being ruled by Sagittarius. Sagittarius is all about embracing what is foreign, embracing what is different, embracing what is weird, what we don't understand, and developing some sort of connection that we can relate to this unknown information. You know, we find some way to relate. We find a way to connect through Sagittarius energy and temperance energy, which is why in temperance, that angel is shown mixing two cups back together, these two very different cups, mixing them back and forth together, because that angel is finding a way to alchemize them, to bring them together, to unify them, to merge them. And so that's pretty much a lot of my pile ones. It's like a lot of your past lives and your past life energy and your past life lessons have almost kind of like merged in this incarnation. That's why you're taking on so much different energy and so many different beliefs and things of that nature, is because of all those different past lives and all those different lives that you've lived and led. They're all kind of coming up to meet at this one road in this incarnation. And so they kind of pour out in that way, especially with the timeline that you're on right now, the times that you're in right now, where it's like it's acceptable. It's a lot more accepted to practice different beliefs. You know, it's a lot less policed in the world, people's beliefs and things of that nature. It's not policed as much as what it used to be. Of course it still is in certain parts of the world, but not as much as what it used to be. And so you guys have more freedom now in this life to practice how you want to practice and in the way that you want to practice it. Some other goddesses that also represent love and as well as water are like Ishtar, Aphrodite, Freya, Venus, and you may resonate with some of those energies as well, or a different entity of love and war. But this is your energy all day, pile one. Hathor may be another energy that you are very, very connected to, her original name being Hathor. But yeah, you may be very connected to that sort of energy as well. You increase your spiritual powers by not trying to assume your vengeful side, pile one, the part of you that wants to punish those. And it's okay to feel that, but do not act on it, because we are all owed karma. We all have karma to pay, or karma that is owed. None of us are perfect or completely righteous, and your spiritual team is saying, pile one, you cannot be the one to bring on their karma. It is not meant for you, one. And two, your vengeful energy is just as strong as your loving energy. It's too intense, and you may not know how to feel that. You may not know how to like reel that side of you back in. You may hold on to grudges pretty easily, or stay mad for a long time, or be able to argue about something until your face damn near turns blue. But that's because of that side of you that's like a warrior. You know, it's that side of you that's like, you know, I can go to war. It's scary, your type of retaliation as well as retribution. You go from the merciful to the merciless in the blink of an eye. And they're saying that you increase your spiritual powers as well by having more clear and stricter boundaries. If someone or something is on the outs with you, make sure they kind of stay there in a sense. See? Yeah, power. You guys got a lot of power. Make sure, you know, if someone's on the outs with you, that they kind of stay there. Don't reverse the judgments that you make. Don't reverse the judgments that you make on those that don't deserve your temperance energy, right? A lot of people are drawn to you because of this temperance energy. Temperance is an angelic figure. It looks human, but it is doing things that humans cannot do, like levitating and alchemizing different substances. Temperance is impressive and divine to the average person, because the average man or woman has never seen a living, breathing angel. They've never been able to commune with it. They've never been able to fellowship with that type of a presence. So your temperance and your aura is different, very simply, pile one. And in order to keep that magic, you have to work on restraining yourself in a bit from seeking that merciless judgment or retribution. It's difficult because it's not in your nature, but you have this other presence around you that you barely can even detect, that's in charge of seeking vengeance for you, which is why you have been spiritually instructed not to seek revenge. If you have intuitively selected this pile, then you more than likely have been told or felt that feeling before that told you don't, or told you to stop, or told you don't try and get them back. You may even feel guilty after treating someone the way that they have treated you, by like giving them a dose of their own medicine. And that's why, like, you have this other presence to you, very Sebic, or like Amit, who was a funerary deity made up of a lion and a crocodile and a hippo, but it devoured unclean hearts that didn't pass the weighing of the heart ceremony. And Sebic, on the other hand, was a crocodile god known for its brutality as well as its lack of empathy. But it was an extremely strong protector as well. And you've got this large energy like that around you that handles those that have wronged you. You know, and so, yeah, so we have this power underneath here, or power that came out for you, and underneath the deck, it was death in reverse. Let's get some other cards just to see. Let's get some other cards to see pile one's spiritual gifts and powers. Let's see, we have here lotus card, or lotus flower unfoldment. Okay, so your powers as well are also gradual. So you may have noticed that as you get older, or as you go through more life experiences, that it seems as though the powers or like the force of your abilities grows even stronger. It could even be like with the lessons that you learn, you learning how to use your power. Underneath the deck here, we have dragonfly emergence. So yeah, and dreamtime creation. So this is all about you guys being able to really inflict a lot of energy towards something in one direction. But the thing is that it's taken a gradual, or like a long amount of time and a lot of patience in order for, yeah, temperance does represent patience. It's taken a long time for you guys to get to this place, to get to this point. You guys also have the ability to create certain scenarios in your dreams that actually end up coming to fruition later on in reality. So you guys may be able to also lucid dream, but you guys are able to create certain outcomes in your dreams, see how they're going to work out, kind of play around with reality in your dreams. So that's another gift of yours. So like let's just just say, for instance, that you were wondering, okay, I've been working on this song or this album for like the last year and I wonder how it's going to do. You literally have the ability or the power to dream about it, to put yourself into a lucid state, actually like release that album in your dream state, and to see people's reactions or to see the outcome of it. And it's going to be very much so on par. It's going to happen nearly verbatim, like almost identically to the way that the dream happened. So that's another really powerful gift that you guys have. Another gift that you guys have is to also teach other people how to use their own spiritual gifts. That is another gift that my pile ones as well have with this lotus flower unfoldment card right here. You are definitely able to, for sure, help sort of show people their own powers in a sense. You may be able to like recognize people's powers. So like you may be able to meet someone and be like, oh, you're a psychic, or oh, you're a medium, or oh, you're an empath, or oh, you're sensitive, or oh, you're an astrologer, or oh, you are a palm reader, or oh, you are a healer. You know, it's like it's going to be these. Okay, we also have your Archangel Premenelik, be conscientious, cooperate with others for the highest good. Yeah, see, you can also teach people that about their own gifts. You can actually recognize other people's gifts and kind of pinpoint it and tell people like, oh, you're gifted with this, and oh, you're gifted with that. And they actually are, and like you're right, and you can kind of show them how to use those powers, how to use those gifts for the greater good. We also have your Archangel Faith. With Faith, you are invincible, believe in yourself. Yeah, that's that temperance energy right there, kind of just coming back through again in this oracle card right here. And underneath the deck, we have Archangel Raziel, seek and you will find, be a wise one. You guys are also gifted with a lot of wisdom, which, you know, is a very, in my opinion, wisdom is one of the most powerful, incredible gifts to have in the world, is wisdom. Because wisdom is not just information. It is information that can be comprehended. It's information that has been experienced, that has been lived through. So it's like there's a real personal connection when it comes to wisdom. Another thing that's coming through here with this Temperance card, pile one, is like healing. I think I spoke about that already with you. Healing is definitely an ability of yours, and it's like the type of healing that compensates by converting pain or suffering into a lesson. Like for you, pile one, you grow, build, and develop from it into a better person. And it may sound basic, but majority of the human race takes its disadvantages and misfortunes and it devolves, or it uses those experiences to justify them becoming whatever may have hurt them. And you know the saying, like, hurt people hurt people. Well, there's not that many people that take on pain or suffering without also turning it around and inflicting it upon others. Many people don't use their pain productively. And it's not because the people that temperance their pain or do use their pain productively are like chosen or special in some way. It is simply a damn choice. Like, it's just a choice. Like, yes, I've been hurt, and that may make me have to work harder to be a good person, or have to work harder to be happy, or have to work harder to feel whole and healed, or to trust, or to forgive and accept. But damn it, I'm going to try. You are someone that's very aware of what pain does and how impactful it can be. Because of this, you were given the ability to heal others, pile one. And we heal ourselves naturally, right? But for those that choose not to heal, because like A, maybe they don't know how, or B, they don't have the resources, or C, they just simply don't want to heal. Because most of the times people aren't healing because they simply don't want to. It starts with a choice. Healing starts with a choice. Just like they say with addicts, you have to be able to admit that there's a problem. You have to want to get better. Very simply. Same exact thing happens when it comes to getting healthy, you know? You have to want to get healthier. And it's the same exact thing when it comes to healing. And a lot of people don't like to accept that because, one, they weren't the ones to inflict their own pain, which is understandable and that's natural. And I've been there before. But at the end of the day, no, you don't have to take responsibility for their actions, but you do have to take responsibility for your own state and for your own well-being and for your own welfare. And that's all around, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So no, we don't have to take responsibilities for others' actions. That has nothing to do with anything. But taking responsibility for how we feel and where we're at is very important. Pile one, these will be the souls that you help to find the reasoning and potential and possibility to heal and to be better. And see, we have judgment in reverse right here, where we have a judgment reversal. So this is about you helping others to change their destiny by helping them onto a healthier karmic path or journey. And what a healthier karmic path or karmic journey is one where people are making certain decisions. Karma is directly controlled and influenced by destiny, our choices, our free will. Karma is on a 360-degree flight path. Basically, whatever we project and put out, you can be damn sure it's going to come right back around and hit us. And it's going to come right back around 100-fold because it's been building up all that momentum coming right back around to us like a boomerang. So that's what karma is. When I talk about a healthier karmic path or a healthier karmic journey, it's because you can undo negative or bad karma or heavier karma by making better choices. And so you start to almost mitigate that harder, harsher karma with better choices and better decisions that you make every single day, because it's those little choices and decisions that build up our karma, the karma that we have to, obviously cash out. So judgment in reverse here is about you helping others to change their destiny by helping them onto a healthier karmic path. And so pile one, you're going to be dealing with many individuals that are rehabilitating from something. They desperately want to be better and do better. And while you are not healing these people, in a way, you are inspiring them to become their own healers. Temperance, if you see Temperance in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, Temperance is not out there working on other people. It's just doing its own thing by itself, isolated by itself. So it's not that you're out there, knocking down doors and forcing people to heal, but you are there as a medium for people to find their own source of healing and help. So that's just something that I like to clear up as much as possible because that's the way that it's coming through. But you are inspiring people, and it's one of your purposes. Like these people that desperately want to be better and do better, you're inspiring them to see it's possible. You can do it. You're here to help them see that they can do it. They have that potential. So a lot of you may have gone through a more difficult childhood or past or something like that, where you had to kind of claw your way out of your own decisions and actions and different choices that you may have made as a kid. People may have sort of like given up on you as a kid. You may have been considered a difficult kid or a difficult person. You may have had a difficult past. And so it's like you've kind of been on both sides of it, where it's like you've been disempowered and you've always been you've also been the one like holding the power. And that it's just as simple as picking that wand up, picking that power up and yielding it, or giving it away and disempowering the self. And this is why you guys are the perfect ones to help lead people and show people to their own source of internal power and transformation. So, you are here to help people. The people that you're going to be helping are the people that feel that they may be past redemption. These are people that have been given up on, or they've given up on themselves. Maybe they think that they're a bad person and undeserving of anything good. With this judgment in reverse, you could be working to, what is that called? You guys may help at like urban centers, or that may be a goal of yours. You may have a past of being in the legal system. You may have some things on your record as well. Some of you here have been rehabilitated yourself from something, and you see it as though like these people don't deserve to be given up on. Like people can change. People can change. That's what I really feel like for my pile one. So some of you guys maybe even be helping people that are like prisoners, like reintegrate back into society, helping them to find jobs, helping them just get the help that they can, the help that they need. So that may be something that you guys are also into with this judgment card in reverse right here. Judgment could definitely be talking about a judge, the legal system, something like that. But this is just like the people that the world has kind of tossed away or thrown away. Yeah, so this could definitely be working with people in the criminal justice system, working with quote unquote, criminals, and they're also people that shouldn't be given up on, obviously depending on what happened. But it's like I could definitely see my pile ones working with working in that type of environment and with those people, with people like that, or people with that type of story. You know, maybe they've given up on themselves. Maybe they think that they're undeserving of anything good with this Judgment in reverse. So you could be helping them mainly rebuild their self-confidence and self-image, helping others to find a sense of purpose and control in their lives, so they have something else to dedicate themselves to, instead of, you know the saying, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. You know, it's like a lot of these people just needed a purpose. They needed something to do when they woke up every day. They needed something to be inspired by and to feel motivated by, self-motivated, you know, and I see you kind of helping to connect people to that. Mainly because you've been in their shoes before in some way, shape, or form. There's like a kindred sort of spirit here where that people feel comfortable with you. They feel like you're not looking down on them. They don't feel like you're talking at them. They feel like they are talking with you and that you are talking to them. They don't feel like they're being taught by you. They feel like you are hearing them, and they feel like because of that, they can hear you and they can absorb a lot more. Versus just, you know, hearing it from someone that hasn't been through what they've been through. They haven't been where they're from. There's something here where it's like you done been there, you know? So whatever this may be, it's like you really do relate. But this is just helping them, again, rebuild their confidence, their self-image, helping them to find some purpose. And these are the misfits that the world has tossed out, and you are evidence that the world isn't so cruel, that the world can be forgiven. And because of that, they can be forgiven. Some of these people, they feel like they can't be forgiven, whoever it is that you're supposed to be working with this Judgment in reverse right here. And you're going to show like, no, you can. Anything that, see, candle, illumination, you're going to help them become aware of it. Anything that you can, anything bad that you can do, you can fix it with better action, you know? And I just see you kind of making people more aware of that, because I feel like some people just simply aren't aware of it. I'll put that here. So we've got here candle illumination. Some of you are very gifted as well with fire magic, working with fire magic. Some of you are very good at working with fire magic for this candle illumination to come out. Yeah, Temperance is ruled by Sagittarius, which is a fire sign, so that could be that. And then we also have here, look, dictionary, communication. Yeah, you guys are just good at talking to people, getting them to really, really hear you, and making people feel heard that otherwise they usually just feel like they're being talked to or like scolded or talked at. Like they don't feel like they're actually respected or heard in any way, shape or form, or understood. But with you, it's like there's a different level of communication. There's a different style of communication where it's like you've been there, and it helps to definitely illuminate them. So yeah, this is, and then underneath the deck here, again, we've got dreams incubation. So that's another thing, just like we have dreamtime creation right here. So that's just another thing that you guys are very gifted at. And then with unfoldment here as well, it's like you guys are able to help people develop their potential and help to keep them on the straight and narrow. There's something here about helping people to keep on the straight and narrow, almost like you being like a like someone that can kind of assist them on their journey. Like, not that you're like telling them what to do and how to do it, but it's just like almost like a sponsor where they can just call you whenever they need to, and you know, you give really great advice. And it's not like you're telling them what to do, you're just helping them find their way to their own answers in a sense. So it's like, yeah, you're helping people find their potential and create their own opportunities in life. And you're helping people reach certain possibilities that they really did not think was possible. For this dream card to come up twice, as well as illumination, things like that. This is just like people realizing. This is people having a heavy realization, illumination, that, yo, my dreams are possible. I can create, I can be anything. Look at this. You see this figure here? And from his head, from his crown chakra, is like all of these strange symbols, and it's like you are illuminating people to this. And this is one of the gifts that you have. So a lot of your gifts has to do with almost like assisting other people in a way. But pile one, this is all that I'm seeing for you guys. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, amazing spirit, for these messages. Hopefully you all come back to visit sometime soon. And until next time, stay safe, healthy, blessed, and keep conquering the world. Bye, guys. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. So we are going to be starting off with your tarot cards. Then I'm going to be pulling some additional oracle cards on camera to see what spiritual powers do you have that you are unaware of, as well as how to increase them. So this card will be showing me how you increase them, and this card on the left will be showing me the powers that you have that you don't know about. So let's just get started. First card that we have is Justice. Okay. It's the first card that we have for you, pile 2. So pile 2, you may be surrounded or have a long history of explaining to people how they got to where they're at. So for example, someone that is like unhappy with their marriage may be completely blind as to why the relationship is failing, but you are able to see clearly what has contributed to their situation. It's like you're able to see things that other people aren't. You've got like a lot of Chiron energy here. You are like a Chiron induced soul. It's like you can totally see how people have gotten to where they're at. And especially when people are like just ignorant or blind to it, where they cannot figure out how their life has ended up where it has. It's easy for you to backtrack someone's steps or actions, even your own, and be like, this is how I got here or how they got there. And it may sound like common sense, but common sense, you know, the saying is not so common. A lot of people lack that basic ability to connect the dots between their actions and their consequences. But you have quite an easy time doing that because Justice is the judge of tarot. Justice makes a ruling and convicts the hangman in the next card, which is card 12, to hang until he dies, in card number 13, the death card. So Justice is essentially responsible for a large part of the Fool's journey in the major arcana, especially his absolution. So Justice is a huge turning point for the Fool that makes him realize that there's a deeper meaning here. Of course, we'll be talking about this card as well as we're going through every single card in the tarot deck over on Patreon. So when we get to the Justice card, we'll be going in depth about that, a lot more in depth about it. But you know, essentially, like I said, it's a huge part of the Fool's journey. And it's a huge turning point for the Fool that makes him realize there's a deeper meaning here. That's what you are to people, pile 2. You provide a lot of logic, but valuable insight to people that cannot see themselves. It's like they're blind to their own actions. You help people discover accountability and how to take responsibility. You're able to pinpoint what the problem is in relationships as well, pretty quickly and easily, with Justice ruling Libra. Libra rules the 7th house, and Justice is ruled by Libra. So you may have some Libra placements. I keep strongly picking up Aquarius and Virgo as well. So you could also have those placements. Relationships, counseling, marriage, couples counseling, is that what it's called? Couples counseling may be a gift of yours, helping to repair relationships. I also just heard too that you guys have the gift of managing and leading. So some of you may know how to do things that weren't taught to you, and that's because you've spent a lot of lifetimes doing this, managing people. In several lifetimes, you were the boss or the manager, the supervisor or the leader. You may have led a faction or a group of people in the past. You may have been like royalty, a king or a queen or a judge or a priest or something, but you know how to get people to see things your way, or you know how to break them out of their own perspective to see things in a different light. And a couple of you in a past life held this ability so well, but you didn't always use your powers for good. And now in this lifetime, you are very aware of how impactful your opinion can be and how easily you can get people to see things your way. And you are only wanting to use this ability to heal in this lifetime. Some of you are very gifted with the gift of gab. You're very gifted charismatically. You know how to talk to people. You know how to convince people. You know how to convey what you are feeling and thinking extremely well and almost beautifully. It almost sounds good. The way that you pull your words together to make points, it almost sounds so attractive that if people didn't feel like using their logic, it's like it would be very easy for people to just believe you or trust you. Because of the way that you can kind of make facts come together or make things sound or present an opinion or present a judgment. You know, it's very easy for you to make it attractive as to almost convince people of something else. This is an ability that many of you won't likely recognize as an ability because it feels as natural as walking. So you've been able to do this since you were a kid probably. You may have been told from a young age that you were very wise or like an old soul because you could see the issue that no one else could. You may naturally be gifted in things like law or the justice system, as well as too, some of you have a very, very, very good memory, very sharp memory. You can like read something and then just like remember everything that you read. You know, it's like, it's not like it doesn't take very much for something to stick in your long-term memory. This was a spiritual power gifted to you. Even if you find some sort of interest in like the justice system or you know, law, something like that, this is a spiritual power that was gifted to you because you are here to help neutralize people's karma. In a sense, you're here to help point them in the direction where they turn their relationship around or their life around in some way. You're here to help guide people out of their own traps that they can't see their way out of. You have a very powerful aura that you are probably not aware of, and you don't play favorites with anyone. You take up for the truth, and that may have disturbed a couple of people that expected you to have their back for whatever reason, and you may have responded by being like, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. I can't support someone or something that I think is wrong. And once you see someone on the wrong side of something, you can't unsee it, no matter how close you are to them. So your spiritual power is being able to direct someone to spiritually want to do the right thing, if that sounds right, or if that makes sense, or you can inspire them to want to be better. It's like you karmically or spiritually motivate people to do better in a sense, and to also be more fair, to not be so biased, and to not be so hypocritical. That's another thing as well. So you may come across as like a very straight shooter to a lot of people, and this is one of your spiritual gifts, and it's usually to kind of help people see their own flaws and help them see their own bullshit, especially people that are just like hypocritical, where they will literally talk trash about someone all day and all night, and then literally do something similar or like the exact same thing. And it's like they just can't see themselves. And so yeah, it's like you're able to have such like an objective opinion, you know. Let's check out, how do you increase your powers? And we have here the Queen of Swords in reverse. Okay, this is all about leading by example, pile 2. This lifetime for you, this gift is less about directing and talking, but more about embodying so people can relate. And, you know, with this Queen of Swords in reverse, many of you in this pile are supposed to be in some sort of position where people look up to you or admire you, but aren't necessarily like instructed by you. So this may be you like leaving your influence by like writing a book, starting a podcast, or getting on a platform where you talk about your experiences or just share life advice and wisdom that you've picked up along the way. This is less about directly telling someone what they should do or what to do with the Queen of Swords in reverse here. Queen of Swords is the only queen in tarot that can come across as masculine in nature because it's a little more difficult to sense her feminine nature. She's more cold, direct, to the point. She doesn't mince her words, thoughts, or judgments. And this is because she's holding a sword, which is the symbol of truth and power. The truth is powerful, and there is power. There is power in the truth. So you guys may have some sort of air moon as well, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini moon, or your moon could be in any one of those houses, the 11th, 7th, or 3rd house, because you have like a direct nature to you, straight shooter sort of nature that others may think is intimidating. Your eyes as well may be intense for people. You may stare people directly in the eye when talking to them, because again, you've been a leader before in several of your past lives. So you have a tendency to talk to people head on, almost like they're working for you, but you have like a powerful aura that you're not aware of, which is why your Queen of Swords is in reverse. Like, you're not really aware of it, but you come across very like bold, powerful, respectful, like to be respected, you know? And you know, another way that you increase your spiritual gifts, pile 2, is by making them more normal, talking about them more, being more open and transparent about them. Queen of Swords in reverse says that some of my pile 2s have a sense of shame or like embarrassment when it comes to your gifts. Some of you may work in a corporate field because something about you feels like you have to maintain a level of like logic, that you have to be very maybe analytical, realistic, politically correct, or intellectual. Some of you feel quite uncomfortable about your spiritual gifts or sensitivities because it doesn't fit in your corporate world, or your family does not believe in it, or people may have simply never seen this side of you. Swords deals with truth. Queens deal with leadership, rulership, and authority from a feminine yin stance. In reverse, this is you wanting to conceal who you truly are or certain aspects of yourself and certain gifts. The way to increase your spiritual gifts is to not be ashamed of them. If you are ashamed of them, stop being ashamed of them. And you do that by normalizing your gifts, talking about them, and being more honest about how spiritually gifted or in tune you are. But there is a fear of being misunderstood or mischaracterized, and this is why this queen energy is in reverse. Queens are just as authoritative and confident as a king, so this is showing a lack of comfort with people having this knowledge about you. So this is all about leading by example, pile 2. This lifetime for you, this gift is less about directing and talking, but more about embodying so people can relate. And, with this Queen of Swords in reverse, many of you in this pile are supposed to be in some sort of position where people look up to you or admire you, but aren't necessarily like instructed by you. So this may be you like leaving your influence by like writing a book, starting a podcast, or getting on a platform where you talk about your experiences or just share life advice and wisdom that you've picked up along the way. You guys may have a very close relationship to maybe like justice type energies or deities, like Ma'at, something like that. You may have a very close connection to, as well as like you guys may work with energy spirits or angels that have like a lot of knowledge, like spiritual knowledge as well. So that would be like Jehudi or like Thoth. Maybe you're really into like the Emerald Tablets, the Kabbalion, things like that, the Hermeticum, the Hermetic Code. It could be things like that that you're super into. Just very logical, rationally minded things, especially with this Queen of Swords. Besides this Justice card right here, it's like you're spiritual and you're logical. I'm picking up some of you guys may be clairaudient. Okay, I don't know why I kept shuffling. Okay, so we have here the Observer and Withdraw. So Observer goes pretty closely, pretty hand in hand to the Justice card. Sitting back and observing. Yeah, underneath the deck here we have Love, like I talked about. Some of you guys may be like a marriage counselor, like a relationship counselor. You may deal with relationships, helping people to heal or mend their relationships. I wonder if my pile 2s always know or can tell when someone's lying. You may be good at detecting that as well. And any sort of claircognizant abilities that you naturally inherited possibly from your mother's side of the family with this Queen of Swords in reverse, as well as with her in reverse. She may be saying, for those of you that have children now or in the future, that this gift will continue to get passed down in your family line because it is in your DNA. With the Withdraw card here, you're also able to, again, draw the truth out of people or to extract information. Now, going back to this Justice card here, Justice is a judge. So there's a unique gift here of knowing who and what you are communicating with or interacting with, knowing who's telling the truth, who isn't, making pretty spot on judgments. Most people's opinions come from unchecked insecurities and distorted perceptions, but yours is a bit different. It's more objective. Justice is ruled by Libra. Again, that objectivity coming through, you being very logical, very analytical, looking at the facts and making a decision from there. Justice is ruled by Libra in the 7th house, and these energies rule partnerships, connection. So this is a spiritual gift of yours where you can see the truth of people. You can see their character, who they are at their core. You're also very good at reading people's energy and intentions. And if you are thinking to yourself, I've been lied to or betrayed, and I was shocked when it happened, I am telling you that unless you pick the wrong pile, you can sense a person's true nature and character of their vibration. Justice is a judge. The thing is that you may be quite good at ignoring your senses and what you pick up. You are good at persuading others, yes, but you are also skilled at persuading yourself that the truth isn't what it is, or that people aren't who you intuitively feel that they are. You're very good at persuading yourself out of your intuitive guidance and advice. So, and I just heard it's karmic. Pile 2, you guys also have a karmic lens. You can see a karmic person or a karmic partner. You can also see a soulmate connection, a twin flame, and know exactly who that person is. My Pile 2s are the ones that when you first meet someone, you can tell if they are going to be a significant person in your life and your journey or not. You might not know how the relationship will play out, but you can sense that there is a vibrational chord getting struck or a connection that will be made. And this can cause you to overlook the person that you are picking them up to be, especially when you start rationalizing with this Justice card here. Once you start rationalizing like, well, their last relationship was difficult, or their childhood was this, or their job is doing that to them, you know, or is stressing them out. The moment you start doing that, you end up persuading yourself out of the truth that you know about something or someone else. Some of you guys may be clairaudient, and the observer goes very hand in hand with the Justice card because it's what a judge does. It sits back, it takes in all the information, it takes in all of the facts and all the evidence, and they kind of allow people to work things out on their own. They kind of allow people to, you know, the lawyers and the attorneys to fight it out in court, present their case, and then to allow the jury to make its decision. So I feel like with you guys, you sit back and you really do observe, and that's how you get that really good neutral objective standpoint, where you're not biased in your opinion. You're not leaning towards one opinion because of like feelings or emotions or anything like that. You're definitely also able to as well to keep your emotions at bay or in check long enough to make an objective decision, to make one that's like smart and rational and not emotionally impulsive or anything like that. So that may be what the withdrawal card is talking about, where you kind of withdraw your feelings and your emotions so you can observe the facts, so you can come to a well-rounded and grounded kind of like consensus. Another thing that you guys have the ability to do is to kind of calm down the energy around people or the energy in a room. You can almost control people's energy levels or their frequency by getting them to calm down and being able to offer a sense of rationality and being able to offer some sort of like common sense to people. So you guys are almost kind of like soothing as well to people that are very anxious or very emotional, very sensitive. You guys help because it always seems like you have like a clear head. So that's kind of another gift of yours, is just being able to almost like, I don't want to say it's not that you're manipulating people's energy, but just by people being around you, it's like you calm them down. By people being around you, like you just calm them down because maybe you remain very calm, or just maybe you remain like very logical, you know? Let's see, let's get some other cards here to see what other gifts you guys may have. Okay, so we have here Arrow Focus. And this sounds a lot like the Queen of Swords right here. We've got Dreams Incubation. And then we also have Augur Mastery. Okay. So you guys have mastered this Justice type of gift. And it's interesting because it's like, if you have mastered this gift and you're not aware that you have it, that means you use it all the time for this Augur Mastery card to come out. I think this could also be saying though too that you guys have, I think, were you the pile where I was saying that you guys can, was that you? I can't remember if that was your pile where I said that you guys can help show people or like teach people how to be spiritually more effective maybe, or how to get in touch with their own spiritual gifts. I can't remember if that was your pile or not. We also have here though Arrow Focus, and Arrow Focus for me, it just sounds a lot like this Queen of Swords right here in reverse. Underneath the deck here we have Fire Spontaneity. So yeah, I just think that when it comes to you guys, your ability to mentally focus and to stay focused despite everything that's going on, like this Augur Mastery card right here, or this Dreams Incubation card right here, where it's like you are incubated in your own energy. And this is what I was picking up with this Justice card, like people, like, not that you manipulate other people's energy, but they kind of like being around you because you calm them down. Like you just seem like you're never really that like frantic as everyone else. And so because of that, I think you seem very wise and mature and old school because of, and like respectful and classic and traditional, because you're not so frantic. And you know, a lot of people look up to that. A lot of people look up to those types of people because they just always seem like they have it together, like they always have the answers, right? And so I believe that that's why that Augur Mastery card came out for you as well. Then we have here, it says Archangel Hope. Look for a cosmic gift and remember that you deserve it. And it's funny that it's talking about deserving something, and we also have the Justice card right here. And it's like justice does kind of determine what we deserve, right? Justice does kind of determine what we're going to get, what our consequences are going to be in a sense. So you guys may have the ability. We also have your Archangel Amethyst. Purify your life with love. Prepare for something better. Again, with that more like heady type energy, because Amethyst rules the crown chakra, or it deals with the crown chakra, as well as Aquarius energy, like I mentioned before. I believe, is Amethyst like the stone for Aquarius? I'm not sure. But yeah, so that lets me know, again, that's more indication of like your crown chakra being kind of activated and very active and easily stimulated. So you guys have a lot of intelligence as well. So another gift of yours that you have, it may sound really like basic, but another gift of yours that you kind of have is like that control over your sacral chakra, that feeling of deserving, being deserving of something, being deserving of something that is better, being deserving of good things. You guys are really able to do that with this Archangel Hope card right here. Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. We've got Music, Harmony, and Whale Breach. Okay, I'm going to keep shuffling because they just kind of fell out and they didn't really feel like yours, but we're just going to keep shuffling, see if they are your cards. Trust, they will come back out again. Okay, so let's see. Let's get some other indicators here. What we got going on? We've got Stone People, Vigilance. So this is really funny. It's for vigilance to come out, because vigilance literally is the same thing as this Observer card right here. Vigilant people are extremely watchful, just like it says with the Observer. Your cards keep mimicking each other from different decks. So the other ability that you guys have here that you're probably not aware, wow, okay, that you're probably not aware of is an insane level of discernment. You guys, I don't know the name of this gift. I mean, I guess it's kind of in alignment with discernment, but it's more so like where you can be somewhere and feel like something's about to go down. We need to leave right now. Like you can tell, you can like sense maybe like an energy shift, especially, yeah, with this Justice card right here. You guys may be able to feel like an energy shift where something's about to go down or something's wrong, or we need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. This is not going to be a good, this isn't going to end good, or this isn't going to end like a good situation. And it's like, it's not that you freak out, but you just get this like calm reassurance that we should go, or we shouldn't be here, or we shouldn't take that right turn, or I shouldn't take that detour, or, you know, they told me just down the hall, but something feels wrong about walking down there. I'm not sure, what would that be called? Not, yes, discernment, but it's like, I feel like discernment's not doing that justice. I don't know why. But there's something else. We also have here Milky Way perspective. So it's like you guys are like on a natural acid trip all the time. Like you're just like you like microdose mushrooms. It's like you guys are always you're always looking at things from this objective standpoint. Again, with the perspective, it's like it's always a subjective standpoint, like what I was talking about earlier. You guys are just able to rationally see both sides and make a very well-rounded consensus, or get to a nice, well-rounded idea of what's going on, or what's happening, or how you feel. We also have synergy here. So as well, it's like even though you know who you are and how you feel, you still have a lot of this justice ability, this Libra ability to be diplomatic. And you have another ability as well to be able to stand being around people that are completely different from you, that completely oppose you. Like, it's easy for you to work with people that you don't agree with or don't even like, because it's easy for you to be diplomatic. It's easy for you to withdraw your emotions and just go straight into your Queen of Swords energy, your Justice energy. Just be very rational about it. Like, listen, I got to get the job done. You're the best one to do it. It's just an example. But it's like if you had to work with someone that you really don't like, but they are the best person at their job, you're able to perspective. We need to get this job done. No, I don't trust you. I'm too vigilant for that. I'm too smart for that. I know who you are. I know what you're about, but I also know you're the best one at this damn job. Arrow, focus right here. You guys you also know what it is. You're also able to be brutally honest with yourself and say, okay, I need to put my feelings to the side. I need to put my opinions to the side. I need to put my judgments to the side and just do what I need to do to get where I'm trying to get to, or get something done. Or, it's like you guys aren't led by your emotions. You're very smart when it comes to that. Like, I'm not going to miss out on a good opportunity or screw myself over just because we don't see eye to eye in politics, or because they're a Republican, or, it's just whatever. So you guys are very able to, I'm seeing that with the Synergy Green Man card right here, where it's just like, I can get along with anyone. I can get along with anyone if it comes to getting the job done. And then you also have here Ceremony Invocation. So this is funny, because for me, in my opinion, this is probably one of the more spiritual cards in your pile. But this says right here that you are quite gifted. I love this card every time it comes out. But this says right here that you are very gifted at definitely using spiritual tactics to get what you want as well. And Justice could kind of be saying that you guys use the rational, tangible, physical realm, as well as the spiritual, mystical, divine realm to get things done, or to get some sort of outcome that you want. Underneath the deck here, we have Shaman, Ancient Healing Wisdom. So you guys may also just have this knowing of how to heal, of how to help people, of how to advise people, this diplomatic type energy, this Libra type 7th house energy, this Justice type energy, where it's like, how to mitigate problems, how to neutralize situations, you just know how to de-escalate things, how to take the energy back down, in a sense, how to calm things down. And like I said, again, it's not you necessarily manipulating people or the situation. It's just like you have such a calm presence that you just naturally kind of calm the energy of the room down, or you calm people around you down. You're very much able to do that because you are seeing things in such a logical way. So I would say that you're probably a little more logical than anything, but you guys also are very gifted with spirit and with using ceremony and ritual to get what you want, an invocation. And so it's like there's also that as well. So you guys are like this very logical person, but you're also like a natural born witch too. With this Ceremony Invocation card here, you're a very interesting character pile too, because I've never seen somebody so logical and with all these logical ass cards coming out, and then boom, the final card that we get hit with is Ceremony Invocation, and we can see her here really into her ritual. Some of you as well with this Withdraw card right here, you're able to do something called remote viewing, maybe, where you maybe think of someone and you can have a dream of them and see where they're at, see what they're doing, see what they're talking about. You may have had dreams where you were in the room with certain people and they're having conversations, and you're able to take those details and know exactly what they were talking about and able to like confirm it with them with that Withdraw card right here. And especially with this Observer card, yeah, some of you guys have definitely mastered being able to, in your dream state right here, there's a dream card. Some of you guys have been able to master being able to go into like a dream sort of like heightened lucid state, or like a meditative state, and be able to kind of eavesdrop or like spy on people maybe. So that's another thing. If you really wanted to like focus your energy, direct your energy, you guys are very gifted at that as well with this Arrow Focus card right here. And Milky Way perspective is all just about like your wisdom, like just realizing what is a big problem versus what is a small problem. Like you guys do not waste your energy in any way, shape, or form. Like you guys are able to say, this really is not concerning. This really isn't a big deal. This really can be forgiven. This really can be overlooked. Do we really need to waste or spend energy on it? You're definitely able to have that kind of perspective, especially because you're so watchful, and you can already kind of tell, especially the people around you in your life, you already can kind of tell like certain people are dramatic, they blow things out of proportion, they exaggerate things, they're just, they're kind of drama, or they're always into something, or they're always talking about something, they don't know how to keep their mouth shut. You know the people around you, and so when people are, when people have legitimate reasons maybe to be upset or to feel how they feel. But again, you're just very good at that diplomacy and using that tact and being able to be like, listen, it's not that big of a deal. But pile 2, this is all that I'm seeing for you. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, amazing spirit, for these messages. Hopefully you all come back to visit sometime soon. And until next time, stay safe, healthy, blessed, and keep conquering the world. Bye, guys. All right, and pile number 3, welcome to your reading. So we are going to start off with your tarot cards here. This card on the left will be showing me the spiritual powers that you do not know about, and this card on the right will be showing me how you increase those spiritual powers. Let me make sure this is centered, 1 second. And the card on the right will be showing me how you increase those spiritual powers. So yeah, let's just get started. After the tarot cards, I will be pulling some additional oracle cards on camera, but let's just get started. So card number 1, we have here the Chariot, as far as powers that you did not know about. I'm not gonna lie, this particular deck here makes me work a little bit harder to really pick up and sense the meaning of what it's trying to say. So it's interesting because this feels a little bit like a past life ability or a power that you had forgotten about. Chariot is ruled by the moon in Cancer, and Cancer rules the 4th house, which is the house of roots. So this may be an inherited gift or one that you had in a past life that you had lost contact with. The Chariot feels like a presence here, so your spiritual powers are also acted out with your energy. Your heart chakra is very strong, and that is how you filter, understand, or communicate with people. And person to person, it's like it's through that heart center. So it's almost, what I'm picking up is like you can read hearts and know the truth of someone's intentions or what they mean, like you can see what drives or motivates someone, what fuels them. So many of you in this pile are able to also see or know the spirit that people wear, or in other words, you are extremely good at reading the ego. And that's not just other people's, it's also your own. This is a secret gift that you didn't know that you had or don't remember getting good at. And some of you have strong Libra, I'm picking up, Capricorn, Cancer energy, could even be Taurus a little bit too. But you're good at reading the ego to where you can see like past it or through it. You can see the facade that it has created and the truth at the heart of it. And that may be why I keep picking up your heart chakra. But another strong gift coming through is being able to read, see, or tell of past life energy. You may be very gifted at picking up a person's past life experiences, like the experiences that made them who they are in their present incarnation. Many of you have been chosen as a spiritual parent in a sense, like you've been chosen to heal or to help people's inner child cross over or transition and integrate into the present. So the best way that I can describe that is you helping others make sense of their childhood and helping to heal really deep childhood traumas. But healing the inner child is a huge, huge gift of yours, pile 3. Not just your own, but others more than anything. Some of you may have strong Chiron energy. So Chiron could be in your 1st or your 4th house. It could conjunct Venus, or any of your personal planets, honestly, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Mars. It may even conjunct your ascendant or your IC. Because I'm saying for some of you, your childhood still perplexes you or has caused you a great deal of discomfort or pain. You may have even learned to disassociate in a sense from your emotional being because of your childhood. So this is why you're gifted in a sense of being able to kind of liberate people's inner child, if that makes sense. But it's like, yeah, you have a job to do as this inner child healer. Healing the inner child, liberating their inner child from traumatic experiences. And that's what I mean when I say I can see you guys helping people's inner child cross over by affording them that liberation and helping them transmute like harsh past experiences or any sort of constructs and limiting beliefs that they were conditioned to believe in when they were younger, you know? And maybe it's like a lot of the people that you may end up working with this Chariot card here, a lot of people that you may end up exercising the spiritual gift with are going to be people that may say quite a bit like, I didn't know at the time that it was wrong. I didn't know, I didn't know to put myself first. I didn't know to love myself. I didn't know, to do this or that. Yeah, that's also coming through with you being a spiritual parent. It's like a lot of people are very like almost like young here, like maybe like young souls or something like that. And it's like I don't know, it's like they're new to like a human experience or something like that. I don't know, but it feels almost as though like you are a spiritual parent to like younger souls or just people that really need help being able to break out of certain constructs. Many of you as well work with animals in the spiritual realm, or you have what is called familiars, like, animals that are very in tune to your spiritual journey. I don't know everything about familiars. I only know a little bit about them, but I think it's like animals or something that like they're kind of along with you in your own spiritual or conscious journey. And so, yeah, some of you guys may have something like that, like familiars, like actual animals kind of helping you spiritually as well. So some of you in my pile 3s believe strongly that many pets of yours or animals that you have had in your care have been like soulmates or part of your soul family, or like you've shared many lifetimes with them. Signs come to you as well through air type deliveries, so birds, clouds, stars, the sun, the wind. Many of you are able to receive clarity or messages from spirit by physically looking up, because I can feel your head looking upwards at the sky whenever maybe like you have questions or need answers. Someone in this pile physically looks up as though you'll see something that gives you a message, and it usually does. This is why you are tuned into the weather as well, pile 3. You may be very good at telling when a storm is about to move in or when it's going to rain, if there's a weather crisis about to happen as well. Many of you may have predicted catastrophic world events concerning the weather, very tuned into earth energy and how she phases in and out of peaceful weather to chaotic like weather conditions. The moon may be another thing that you are very in tune with, because the Chariot is associated with the moon, and that comes from it being ruled by Cancer. So some of you also have a purpose in delivering children. You have a purpose in delivering children, or it's like a gift of yours that, again, you picked up from some sort of past life experience. Something about the picture on this Chariot card. But I did mention, earlier, inner child healing work is a calling of yours. So yeah, this pile may have a purpose connected to children, delivering children, becoming a doula, or healing the inner child of adults. So it's really interesting how you're reading specifically. It's not that it's not about your spiritual gift. This Chariot card is describing some different passions or purposes of yours, or different skills that you may have mastered in past lives. Like past lives keep coming up here. So this is just these are like skills that you got very good at and some past life experiences. And so that may somehow inextricably linked to some spiritual gifts that you didn't know you had. Because skills, like physical skills that we learn in our incarnations, can end up becoming spiritual gifts and spiritual skills that end up assisting us in future incarnations. And that's what I feel like happened with you guys. I feel like there was a lot of like really ordinary, maybe like jobs or skills that you took on or that you were passionate about in past lives that ended up assisting you spiritually in this life, which is the cool thing. Yeah, let's check out this card on the right, which will be showing how to increase these spiritual powers. And we have here the Knight of Wands. Wow, okay. So, it's interesting because we do have a bull in the front of this card. So yeah, some of you do have strong Taurus energy. But you increase the power of your gifts by properly channeling them, pile 3. With this Chariot card being ruled by Cancer, many of you feel so deeply because you are connected to your emotions and you don't hide from them. You are not ashamed of them and you don't try to suppress them. You feel everything and you are fine with that. Now the issue is feeling so much that sometimes you get like lost in a maze of emotion. And emotion has always been associated with water. The Chariot in a sense is is associated with water as well. But water can be as tiny as a raindrop or as magnanimous as a bottomless ocean. So no matter how far or how deep or how wide, water moves as one body. And that is how my pile 3s experience emotion as well. It's, exactly like its elemental ruler. So for you, trying to pinpoint emotion and where it comes from is like trying to carve out a raindrop that fell into the ocean. You understand that deeply felt emotional experiences are like all these different drops of rain falling into a huge body of water. They become a larger, bigger body, and there never really is like one true source. There's not like these separate sort of instances. All these kind of like rain droplets, they converge together and create one larger sort of entity to deal with, if that makes sense. So, for example, this would be you telling someone like their low self-esteem, for example, didn't come from that one time that you got picked on in 6th grade. That was a raindrop, just like their relationship with their mother and father was also a raindrop, which connects back to the grandparents. There's never really one source. There's never really like a separation between, these aren't necessarily like exclusive events that stay separated and divided. They all kind of work together to create a sort of limiting belief, a sort of idea or a perception. It really alters the optics. And that is what you have a very good job of understanding, pile 3, is how it's not just one situation that led to this type of ego or this type of person, or to this type of life or quality of life. Like, you understand all these things kind of work together and have manifested in a particular person, or have manifested into someone's reality. And that is something that you have a very good job of understanding. You may have even studied psychology in a past life or something, because there's just a very deep understanding of human design, how humans' minds work. You guys may be interested in psychology, even in this life. You may study it in school right now, or you may take a lot of time to research and get to know it, especially if you were surrounded with the chariot here, especially if you were in a family that maybe, I'm not even picking up like was a toxic family or didn't get along, but it could have just been a family that like didn't really go deep, that didn't really talk about emotional things. Everything was maybe kind of like surface level, or like you just weren't allowed to talk about your feelings and your emotions and how badly something was bothering you. Or maybe people would look at it as like, it's not good to be emotional, it's not good to feel certain things. Less about toxicity and just more so about like you learning to disassociate from emotions. So this could have been something that you learned to do, or something that was just very normalized in your family. And that may have led you to being very, very interested in why people are the way that they are, why their brains and their minds work the way that they do, and what it all means, and how it can express itself or manifest itself in certain behaviors, in the way that people act. So there could be a very deep interest in psychology with you, but again, this has turned into a spiritual gift. So even if psychology was something that you were interested in a past life, or even in this life, it is linked to spiritual capabilities that you have. You just have this deeper understanding where it's like you're able to bring together science and spirituality. Yes. Especially with these 2 horses here, you're able to bring both of those together. So one of your abilities is definitely being able to see how a whole bunch of different experiences have led into one sort of manifested experience or reality. And you understand there's never really one source. And if there is, we're too far removed from it at this point to be able to say the person that we are is because of this one thing. So it's like a culmination of reasons that make up a person's experience and personality. But for you, it's about strategically creating a source. And this is how you strengthen the spiritual gift right here. You increase your spiritual powers by engineering a source that all those raindrops came from. And you do this with intention. You increase your spiritual powers by saying it doesn't matter where it originated, but the intention here is healing, or transmuting, or cord cutting, or releasing, or understanding, or insight, or forgiving, or whatever it may be. You increase your spiritual gifts by concentrating that ocean and body of water into one consistent stream, like a river that is flowing in one direction. So pile 3, you won't be able to make sense of a lot of experiences that you have had and that others have had, and that won't be your job to do. But for this Knight of Wands, what he is saying is we don't know where the problem came from, but we know that we want to heal it, and we'll heal it or overcome it, and focusing all that energy into that one direction. This is about healing. No matter where it came from, whether it came from that 6th grade experience or your mother or your father or your grandparent or your environment, doesn't matter. What we're going to do is we're going to bring all of those experiences together and focus them with purpose, and we're going to give them a purpose, we're going to give them an intention, and we're going to channel it into healing or transmuting or forgiving or learning or insight, whatever it may be, whatever the goal is. That is how you strengthen your spiritual gift, by passionately running like towards that emotional ocean, knowing that it's going to sort of drown you or overwhelm you. Because once you become or integrate into that ocean or body, you are able to understand it and then help channel it or direct it productively. So one thing that helps to increase your spiritual powers, in other words, is you completely integrating into your emotional body, or helping other people to integrate into their own emotional body, because what it's going to do is increase your understanding, pile 3, of people and behaviors and personalities, as well as too, this Knight of Wands is also talking about experience. That's another way that you guys increase your spiritual gifts. Like I said, your spiritual gift is interesting. It's coming across as a skill that you were once very passionate about, or that you are very passionate about in this current incarnation. And so the way that you actually increase this spiritual gift is by studying it with this Knight of Wands. Like, it becoming a passion of yours, and you being so into it and you being so motivated by it, because you're so interested in it and because you're so passionate about it, that you gain a lot of experience by studying about it and by working with people and being very hands-on. So for you, this is about getting hands-on with your gift, reading books, going to school, studying it, talking to other people, talking to other maybe experts in the same field. You know, like, let's just say that it was psychology, right? That you're very passionate about. Whatever it is that you are passionate about in this life, that may seem just like a skill or something, it's actually a gift of yours. It's a medium for you to kind of channel your purpose into, or for you to complete your purpose here. So a lot of the skills that you have picked up, these ordinary skills, was actually because your soul knew that it had to prepare for that spiritual gift in a later on incarnation. So Knight of Wands is definitely talking about hands-on experience. Okay, you guys, I did not know that my memory card was full, so the camera actually wasn't recording. Oh my God, I hate when that happens. And people don't get it unless you're like a spiritual sort of content creator yourself. People really don't get how much you have to manage, like the audio, the camera, the computer, the programs that are running as you're recording so you can capture all this content. And then in the meantime, you're trying to channel information from a completely different dimension. It gets wild in here. But again, Knight of Wands for you guys, pile 3, when it comes to increasing your spiritual gifts, is definitely about hands-on experience. Being out there in the front lines, just like what the Knight of Wands talks about. So it's like, let's say that you were a nurse in a past life, or being a nurse is like a passion of yours. That is because you're in some way, shape, or form, your spiritual gift may be connected to being a healer, you know, and you are exercising that, or you are learning that spiritual gift by going to school, learning how the body works, learning how the body functions. So again, for you guys, you're really merging science and spirituality here, and it's a really good thing, because I think it would expand a lot of the collective's consciousness and intelligence if we didn't separate those two fields by thinking that, you know, when science needs to stay science and it needs to stay logical, and, you know, spirituality needs to stay in its own lane, and, you know, just be whatever it is, a bunch of mumbo jumbo. But I honestly think that if both of these worlds were to like kind of come together, it would expand our knowledge on a lot of things. And I see you guys already naturally being that type of being that brings together the logical and the spiritual, which is what makes you so good at your gift. And again, it's going to increase your spiritual powers by learning more about the skills that you have in this lifetime, whatever that skill may be. It could be music. It could be music. It could be art. It could be anything. Whatever it is, though, this is about getting that hands-on experience with the Knight of Wands, getting down there in the front lines, like the Knight of Wands does. He charges ahead of everyone else. So that's how you actually expand your gifts. Pile 3. Let's see what other cards we get for you. We have love. Love. I feel as though this something about this love card right here feels very, again, kind of like maternal. It feels kind of maternal. The other thing that this love card, that I'm picking up from this love card, is that a lot of your spiritual gifts will have to do with other people or relationships to other people. Then we also have here nature. I think nature is just coming through to maybe confirm that earlier message that I picked up, where you guys may work with animals or familiars or something like that. And then underneath the deck here we have take risk. I don't know why. Okay, this is weird. It's literally for one person here. If you've intuitively selected this pile and you're currently studying or gaining an education, and you receive some sort of an invitation or an opportunity to go study abroad or to go study overseas or to go study in this completely new environment, take the risk and say, yeah. I don't know why I'm hearing that. There's something. I don't want to say take the risk and say yeah. I'm just going to say this card is talking about that choice that you're trying to make. But what I'm picking up from it is it's a part of your path. It's a part of your journey. It's definitely a part of your path or a part of your journey. That's why that opportunity has come up for you. Like I said, that's going to be for like one person here. Okay, let's see. Let's get some more cards. Oh. Your cards keep going everywhere too. For some of you with this love card as well, this could be saying that you have a, yeah, look at what came out. Ancient healing wisdom. Yep. And then new moon promise. For some of you guys, we also look, fairies, earth magic. Yeah, some of you guys work with familiars or animals, nature magic. But also with this love card, for some of you, you may have like a soulmate or a significant other that you're also supposed to be working with or will eventually end up working with in the future. It could be alluding to that. And then we have, look, childhood innocence. What was I talking about? You guys liberating people's inner child. Gotta keep this out. Yeah, so some of you guys, oh, and then look, yeah, we have a couple in this new moon promise card right here. Yeah, okay, so then some of you guys are actually meant to share a spiritual gift or to enhance your spiritual gift or to even maybe discover more spiritual gifts once you connect with your twin flame or your soulmate. I don't know much about twin flames, so I can't say for sure that this is like a twin flame or not, but it definitely feels like a divine connection, a divine partnership. Somebody that you're fated to be with. You could be with this person right now, especially if you guys share the same passions or have had similar childhoods. Then yeah, this would be that person. Okay, so we have here Archangel Michael, stand in your power and be true to yourself. We also have here Archangel Jeremiel, learn from your challenges, relax and trust. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. Some of you guys can relate to having those difficult childhoods where it's not necessarily toxic, but just you learned, so you picked up some things, you picked up some sort of beliefs and some sort of ideas that weren't productive as well. Like they weren't good for you. And so you know how to liberate yourself from those mindsets and those beliefs that you pick up as the conditioning that we take on as kids. So yeah, learn from your challenges, relax, and trust. For those of you worried about your purpose, don't worry about your purpose. Your purpose is going to seem so fucking ordinary. And that is for everyone, not just for pile threes. Normally, our purpose is something that we overlook because we are inherently gifted at it. Like we literally are born already gifted at it. And then we come here to refine it. We grow up and we learn, we get into these passions and then we practice with them and we refine them and we get to a level of mastery, depending on how dedicated we are to our craft. So for you guys, what I'm hearing with this card is don't worry about your purpose because you're already on the journey. When you find your purpose, for those of you in pile 3 that haven't found your purpose just yet, when you do find it, you're going to be like, that's what it was this whole time? That's going to be the thing for you guys is like, wait, seriously? Like I've been doing this, but some of you guys in pile 3, you may be overlooking it because you're naturally gifted at it. And a lot of people think that their purpose is going to be something that's really sparkly, really shiny, really fun, bring a lot of like glamour and fame and riches. No, the shit is going to challenge the hell out of you. That's what happens with a purpose. Most of the time we don't want to do our purpose. I can tell you that much. Most of the time we run from it or we just don't even realize it. So yeah, stand in your power and be true to yourself. Archangel Michael. Then we also have Archangel Sandalphon. Tune into your divine potential. Yes, bring the world into harmony. This is kind of talking about or bringing up that message that I got from you guys, merging science and spirituality. I can sense a lot of you guys doing that. And then underneath the deck, we have Archangel Gursisa. Create a solid spiritual foundation. Be in service to the planet. Yeah, a lot of you guys are. Some of you guys may be very interested in veterinary work. And do you know why? Because that is a purpose of yours. Because it's a spiritual gift of yours. The spiritual gift, for example, this is actually the perfect example. Let's just say that you wanted to become a veterinarian. That is because you are gifted, you're spiritually gifted at being able to communicate with animals. You're spiritually gifted at being able to understand them, having this sense of claircognizance and knowing what they need, knowing what they're trying to say, knowing what they want. And that is why you'd be interested in becoming a veterinarian or learning more about animals or, whatever it may be. It was just an example, but that is how your purpose is going to spell out. And that's how your spiritual gifts are going to come through as well. Again, like I was saying, your spiritual gifts are very much so connected to these ordinary skills that you have taken on in past lives or when you were younger or at some point in the past. And then they ended up developing into spiritual gifts later on because it was like wisdom that you picked up throughout different incarnations. Okay, we have here Wheel of Fortune, fate. I told you guys, like, it's your purpose, it's your fate. You are fated. You're already on the journey. You're already on the path to your purpose. That's not something that you have to worry about. But for many of you as well that have picked this pile, the wheel is beginning to turn in your favor. And so it's not that it wasn't before, but now it's going to actually feel like good fortune is coming to you. It's going to actually feel like fate is working for you. So this is also kind of telling me that many of you in pile 3, you may feel as though you've had a stroke of bad luck in the past, or it could be coming from you feeling like you're not doing your purpose, like you're not on your path. And this may be why you feel as though like you've been dealing with misfortune or bad luck, when in reality, the Wheel of Fortune, fate here is talking about how things are about to start turning in your direction, in your favor. but in a sense where you're going to be able to see that. They always were. It just didn't seem like it because maybe things were falling apart or they weren't going to plan. But there's a reason for that. So let's just say, going back to that example, you want to be a veterinarian and you didn't get into the school that you really wanted to. That's because there's a better program for you with a much more hands-on, sort of experience at a different school for way cheaper tuition. It's something like that. So, yeah, you guys are about to start seeing that in pile 3. So this is also like a little bit of a message, I feel, as though, with this Wheel of Fortune card, Fate, right here. I feel like this is kind of like more so of a message. Let's see. Yeah, let's get one more. All right. And then we have here, fire spontaneity. Fire spontaneity. And then underneath the deck here, we have pendulum decision. You know what I kind of feel like this fire spontaneity card is about? It's like that message that I picked up earlier. For those of you, if you have received an opportunity, like a rare opportunity to go study abroad or something, that may be the decision that you're facing right now, but there's something over there for you. And this isn't just for those of you that have the opportunity to go and gain an education abroad or in like a different area or something like that. But this is also for all of my pile 3s, where it's saying there is some sort of a spontaneous opportunity that may come through where you have to kind of sit and make a decision. I feel like your oracle cards are actually incoming messages. That's all I'm hearing with them anyways. And I'm not going to force it. But yeah, one thing that I'm definitely hearing is that a lot of pile 3s have a spontaneous opportunity coming in. It's going to be like the most random opportunity ever. So some of you guys may actually get accepted into schools abroad. If you're currently getting your education, you may get accepted into a school abroad. You may get a job opportunity from abroad or from a different place. Like, it's going to be a really random ass opportunity that you have to sit and ponder on a little bit. We do have the Chariot card down here, which is all about kind of making a decision in a sense. Kind of. It comes right after the Lover's card, the card of choice. But yeah, you guys may be definitely having to make some sort of a decision with a really spontaneous opportunity that's coming in very, very soon here. Another thing that I'm picking up with pendulum decision as well is kind of going back to that earlier message that I picked up, where I could feel or sense or see some of you when you have a question, when you're seeking spirit for an answer, how you physically look up. So this is also saying that some of you are very spiritually gifted with the ability to gain clarity. The moment that you ask for an answer, the moment that you ask for clarity or help with making a decision, there is some sort of weird, strange synchronicity or spontaneous thing that sort of happens and points you in the correct direction with this Wheel of Fortune Fate card as well coming out. As well as too, some of you guys are very, very gifted with pendulums. You may have created pendulums or made pendulums as a kid growing up before you even knew what a pendulum was. But some of you guys are very good at using like physical tools in order to communicate with spirit with this Wheel of Fortune Fate card, this Decision Pendulum card, and maybe even this Fire Spontaneity card. You guys may have very, very unique ways of using different tools to communicate with spirit. Just like we have this Earth Magic Fairies card right here, using animals, using familiars, using different sort of ways to communicate, mediums to communicate with spirit. You guys are actually gifted at almost creating your own way with fire spontaneity. Fire definitely deals with like passion and creativity in a sense, but you guys may actually create your own ways of communicating with spirit, like your own ways to divine information, since that's exactly what divination is just sort of drawing information from a different source, a celestial being, right? Or a spiritual being. So for you guys, you may have actually made your own Ouija boards. You may have made your own pendulums. You may have made your own tarot cards, oracle cards. You may have made your own sort of communication style when it comes to connecting with spirit and talking to spirit. And again, this is another way that you're spiritually gifted, is in knowing how to formulate your own path and your own way to connect to spirit, to connect to these higher energies and these higher frequencies. But pile 3, this is all that I'm saying for you guys. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, amazing spirit, for these messages. Hopefully you all come back to visit sometime soon. And until next time, stay safe, healthy, blessed, and keep conquering the world. Bye, you guys. All right, and pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. So we're going to be starting off with your tarot cards, and then I'm going to be pulling some additional oracle cards on camera just to check out the rare spiritual powers that you are in possession of that you don't know about, as well as how to strengthen them. So yeah, let's just get started. Very first card that we have here for you as far as spiritual powers that you are unaware of is the 10 of Matches, otherwise known as the 10 of Wands. Spiritually, pile 4, interesting first message coming in for you. It's like you're able to lift 10 times your weight. You know how like in the gym people bench press, I guess it's called, I don't know. I don't go to the gym. But you know, it's like how some people can like lift twice their weight or something. Spiritually, you are able to combat 10 times your weight. Strength keeps coming to mind for you, but it's a different type of strength. With these 10 wands here, I see you pulling strength from several different sources at any given time. So this could be strength coming from ancestors, descendants, loved ones, deities, ascendant masters, angels, archangels, earth energies, and a host of other spiritual entities and energies. The reason that this is a gift and one that you are unaware of is because pile 4, you have access to the superconscious. So you pull a lot of your ideas, a lot of your strength, information, and knowledge from there constantly, mostly when you are either in your dream state or in some sort of issue that you need to get out of. And do you procrastinate a lot? Like, have you ever noticed that you'll get this really unique idea that you don't act on, and eventually you end up seeing someone else acting out the idea that you had, or them trying to construct maybe like a project that you're working on? It's like you get a very rare, unique idea. You may have noticed in the past that other people get the same rare, unique ideas that you do. Not like a whole bunch of people, but you may notice some sort of a connection there. And it's not because like they stole the idea from you or that you stole it from them. This is strangers, like people that you don't know or have not expressed an idea to, and somehow they end up doing the same thing or interested in the same thing. Or trying to like construct the same thing. That's what happens when you tap into the superconscious though. And this will be evidence of the fact that you are constantly tapping into the superconscious, that a lot of ideas, like best example coming to mind is like, you may have thought about maybe like a really good convenient invention or something. Just an example, maybe it's like an app that you were thinking of, like, damn, they need to make an app for this, or I wish there was like an app for that, right? And then within like a couple of months, like you see this new app come out that was exactly what you were talking about. If this has ever happened to you before, it is evidence of the fact that you tap into the superconscious all of the time. Now, the very, very interesting thing about the superconscious is we associate it with the planet Neptune. And a lot of people will tell you that Neptune is spiritual, which is true to a certain degree, but honestly, from my studies anyway, Neptune is a lot like a hotel lobby. No matter what floor you are on, everyone has to go to the lobby or the first floor in order to leave the hotel. That's Neptune and the superconscious. They are the lobby where everybody meets up at. No matter what dimension you're from, no matter what sort of entity you are, no matter what sort of living being you are, everyone has to come together at the lobby in order to leave the hotel. And that's literally Neptune. So this is the central hub or source or space that all living beings are connected to, and that all living beings tap into. Usually it's done where we don't notice it. Is usually done in a way where we don't necessarily realize that we are tapping into the superconscious. All living beings are connected to this space, and this is why two complete strangers can create the same idea without ever having known of each other. And there's so much evidence that supports this idea or this theory. And you guys may spend a lot of time in the lobby or in the superconscious, right? And so this is where a lot of your information, this is where a lot of your ideas come from, and this is also where a lot of your information and answers on what has happened, what is currently happening, And what will happen is coming from or being channeled from. Now, another thing that's coming through with this Ten of Wands right here is that you are gifted at being able to see or recognize the demons that people are battling, the weight that they carry as well, and whatever they are struggling with behind closed doors. This is also the ability to see down the line or far into the future. So while many of you in this pile are aware that you have some type of clairvoyant capabilities, it's more so of a feeling or a sensation. It's more so like clairsentient abilities, being able to feel what is going to happen to someone in the future. Some of you as well, this is also connected to your spiritual gifts, but some of you as well, you may be able to experience the senses differently. So you may be somebody that is able to like see sound or hear visuals, if that makes sense. It'll make sense to you if you're able to do something like that, or if that's just something that you've naturally always done. But yeah, this is more so along the lines of like a clairsentient sort of feeling, just being able to feel what's going to happen to someone in the future. But the things that you are able to sense and feel coming in the future are life-changing events with the Ten of Wands down here. Marriage, pregnancy, soulmates, professional opportunities, health, and a plethora of other things that you guys are able to sense that is coming into someone's life that's going to change them forever, or is going to change them from the inside out. Some of you as well are very gifted at praying, or your prayers are quite strong. Whatever prayer looks or sounds like to you, your prayers penetrate even the toughest of situations and crises. Some of you guys have been praying the same prayer for generations, not you individually per se, but let's just say that like your grandmother had a certain prayer or your grandfather had a certain prayer. You guys still to this day are carrying on the same prayers. In a sense, it could be prayers of protection over, the younger generation. It could be prayers to break generational cycles and patterns and things of that nature. So, whatever it is, it's like you guys have been sharing the same prayer for very many generations, and this has built up a lot of spiritual momentum when it comes to possibly your family line, but even your spiritual gifts and abilities. The fact that this kind of like same prayer has traveled throughout the ages or throughout like the generations in your family line, also speaks to the fact that your spiritual powers are enhanced this lifetime. If you are someone that prays regularly or communicates with spirits regularly for strength, you may instantly feel better after praying, or you may feel a literal vibrational shift. When you pray for other people or seek spiritual guidance and support for other people, these other persons may come to you afterwards and say, oh my God, I feel so much better, or calmer, or more supported, or like everything's gonna be fine. You're definitely able to help people stay afloat in very heavy situations that are designed to energetically drown them. So you being able to see the difficulties that someone is going through is a very specific gift of yours as well, that Spirit gave you to remind people when they are in the middle of a great challenge that they are not alone, that God has not abandoned them, that this is not a punishment. If you extend your gift to others, pile 4, you will be dealing with people going through severe crises, tower moments, loss, suffering, pain, great upheavals and obstacles that they are pushing themselves through to survive. And when we are in the middle of so much challenge, it is easy for us to doubt that it is a part of our journey or that things will work out. It's easy to doubt the universe's plan for us when from our perception and from our angle, it looks like everything is going wrong. And like true faith does not come from being tested during the good times. Like true faith is developed, because faith is also a skill in my opinion. But true faith is developed by holding on to it in the middle of the struggles. When we are bombarded with this strong of a challenge, a Ten of Wands type of challenge, it can feel like a punishment. It can feel like God has turned its back on us, like we are being beat up by life. So your gift will have to do with providing encouragement and support to people that are going through something that they're not so sure anymore how things will end up or turn out. But you being able to know or sense what someone is struggling with will soothe the difficult part of their journey. And these are people at the tail end of a journey. With this being a Ten of Wands, and I don't mean like life, but like a chapter in their life. So they're at the tail end of a major chapter in their life. And that is when things heat up the most. So you being able to communicate to someone, I know what you're going through, will soothe these people, because it'll remind them that this is not forever. This is a temporary storm, and that God is still on their side, even though they may be in the middle of traversing a great, great obstacle. So let's check out exactly how you strengthen these gifts. And we have here the beautiful Star card. That's really powerful. This is exactly what I was just talking about. Pile 4, there are so many ways, first of all, for you to strengthen your spiritual gifts. Learning about the stars and astrology itself will be a monumental moment or lesson for you, because you will find nothing but evidence in the stars and in the cosmos as to why you were designed the way that you were, and as to why you were placed on the journey that you were, or as to why your soul chose the journey that it did. Another way that you personally strengthen your spiritual gifts is with optimism, hope, faith, everything that the Star card stands for. The Star card is so hopeful for a better, brighter, more beautiful future, that she begins to stand back up on her feet, and she attempts to rebuild what she once had, but from a completely different angle now, from more of a perspective of appreciation for it too. So feeling things like gratitude, feeling things like appreciation for the life that you were given and the journey that you're on, despite the obstacles, despite the pain, despite the things that you've been through and the challenges. We all go through challenges. We all suffer great pains, and it's about being able to reconnect to the fact that, like, I'm still blessed to be me, or I'm blessed that I'm here. I'm blessed that I have life. There's always some blessing that we can count in our life. Even if we're going through a 5 of Cups moment where we're not able to see it at the time, where the only thing that we're able to see are those 3 cups that have fallen over, and we're completely ignoring the 2 cups that are standing, because we're grieving the fact that we lost something. So we always have blessings to count, but usually it's circumstantial. Just being honest, that's just human nature. And so when you can learn in this lifetime to have gratitude, to have faith, to stay optimistic and hopeful for a better, brighter future, no matter what the circumstances look like, that is a huge lesson in life, that is to be mastered. And it's not easy. It's not an easy one to overcome. It's not an easy lesson to master, because it's very easy to allow the circumstances to overwhelm us, because we're the ones that have to live with those circumstances and in that environment 24/7 every single day. And so it can definitely feel overwhelming. And the thing is with you guys is optimism, hope, and faith will strengthen your spiritual gifts completely. Having a sense of gratitude, appreciation, holding on to that, really 4 of Pentacles, holding on to this faith that you're going to be blessed in the middle of all of this. You're going to be okay. It's your mind for you, pile 4. The mental state, maintaining your hope and optimism for brighter days. When life gets to you, or you are having one of those days, allowing yourself to focus on the bad that's happened in the past, or that may be happening now, is how you weaken your spiritual gifts. Remember, you have the 10 of Wands here. You're naturally someone that pushes through. This is just your energetic makeup. You push through. You are built for not just survival, but you were designed and engineered for the climb, pile 4. When you stay focused or simply open to the possibility that anything can happen and not just the bad, this is how you strengthen your gifts and your powers. Taking your life one day at a time, not getting ahead of yourself, and not wondering, when this or that is going to happen is another thing that's going to strengthen your powers as well. And you carving your way through your own personal challenges helps. And you staying committed to the plan or the goal in the middle of great challenge is another way that you strengthen your gifts, pile 4. Let's see, we have the card here, release, that just came out for you. Something interesting about release coming through is completing generational cycles or completing karmic cycles. I don't know why, but release is not making me feel like purging or getting rid of something. It feels like completion. So I'm feeling like with this card right here that very many of you have either completed some sort of karmic cycle, Or that's what you're on your way to doing with this Ten of Wands right here. That's what you're on. You may be on your way to doing that. Ten of Wands, that's the final card in the suit of Wands. Yeah, look, we have trust for you. And then there's a moth on the outside of it. This is definitely about you being transformed. Yeah, okay, a lot of my pile fours are at the tail end of a karmic cycle, a major karmic cycle. Underneath the deck, look at what we have. We have destruction. Yeah, this is really, really beautiful. This is really beautiful. You know why? Because the Star card comes directly after the Tower card, the card of destruction. So you guys are also currently building something. You're in the process of rebuilding something, and you don't even realize it right now because you may be sort of preoccupied with things that have deconstructed, that have fallen apart. You may be preoccupied with the destruction and the things that are falling apart in your life right now. But make no mistake, you're also rebuilding, or the universe is also rebuilding and repairing. You just might not be able to notice it right now. A few of you guys are maybe stuck in a bit of a Five of Cups sort of vibration at the moment because you're grieving things that may have just recently happened in your life. Yeah, if you're on this pile and you intuitively selected this pile, it's for a reason. This isn't really even about your spiritual gifts. For some of you, this is just about what you're currently going through. Let's see what we have here. Look at that. We've got DNA karma. DNA, like your generational karma. What did I just talk about, you guys, pile 4? Some of you guys are, for sure, you have completed a generational karmic cycle. It wasn't even just your karmic cycle. It was a generational one. There's a reason that you guys have intuitively selected this pile and are on this pile, and this is one of those reasons. We have here also breath, forest. So this is about being able to breathe a little bit easier. This is about being able to breathe a little bit easier. As well as too, there's seasons. There's a message coming through here of seasons with this forest card. And the thing that I'm getting is like, you guys may be stuck in a season of winter right now, or not stuck in it, but you guys may be in a season of winter right now. And so it may look like there's a lot of destruction, like a lot of death, a lot of Ten of Wands moments. What is happening, like I said, there's also repairing and rebuilding at the same time. So with forest breath here, this is also letting me know that spring is around the corner. You know, like life is going to come back into whatever situation may have fallen apart in your life. You guys are meant to hear this reading and be on this reading whenever you come across it, for a reason. You know, there's a very divine reason for it. As well as too with forest breath, another thing that can definitely strengthen your spiritual gifts is learning how to, breath work, breath control, learning how to breathe. Your breath is going to control everything. It does control everything. Our breath changes with every sort of emotion that we feel. When we're angry, when we're happy, when we're sad, the breath changes. When you're experiencing pleasure, obviously the breath changes. So there's certain things. Another thing that's going to strengthen your spiritual gift is learning how to control your breath, doing breath work. And it's also going to help you to meditate a lot easier. For those of you that may struggle with meditation, this will help you to get more mindful and more present. We also have here underneath the deck, volcano volatility. Some of you, this is what is happening right now in your life. There's some volatile situations, but it's volatile because there is destruction happening in your life right now. And this destruction is a really good thing. It's a really good thing. We have to get out of generalizing things. In the spiritual community, it's quite disappointing to hear certain people say that some things are evil and some things are this and some things are that, when everybody's definition of evil is independent and it's individual, because everybody probably does or practices something or is drawn to something that somebody in the world would consider evil. And same exact thing when it comes to destruction. Many of us can feel like this is bad, this is negative, this is evil, when it's like, no, this is exactly what the universe ordered for you. In order to rebuild your life, or in order for certain things to come together for you, pile 4 specifically, they had to fall apart first. And I say this all the time on my channel, is that when we manifest, when we pray and we ask the universe or God for something, what we are actually asking for is chaos, because we're asking for change. And the essence of change is chaos. So there's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with destruction, especially when it was self-inflicted. A lot of you guys in pile 4, you have prayed. This is wish fulfillment. The star is a card of wish fulfillment. A lot of you guys have prayed and asked for. So this is why the card trust came out. You got to trust in this. But a lot of you guys asked for some sort of change. You try to manifest something or banish something from your life. You want it to bring completion to maybe a cycle or a karmic pattern. And this is why so many things are falling apart. Just trust in the fact that they're going to come back together. Much stronger, much more fortified. Spring is around the corner. But there was a lot that had to fall apart if this was generational karmic cycles and patterns. A lot of things had to fall apart, you guys. Let's see what else. Let's get some angel messages here. We have for you Archangel Hope, and it says, look for a cosmic gift. See, remember, you deserve it. Star card is a card of wish fulfillment, you guys. There's a cosmic gift on the way. Told you guys, just trust in that. We also have here, be fair in all situations, resolve your conflicts. Okay, so some of you guys are in the middle of resolving conflicts as well, and this may be why this Ten of Wands is here, just to show how tedious maybe the situation has been. In the middle of upheaval, in the middle of change, in the middle of challenge and obstacles, you guys also had maybe conflicts, like tiny little conflicts that you had to deal with, because the Ten of Wands talks about carrying a very heavy load. You're not just carrying 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 8 wands, you're carrying 10 of them. You're carrying every single one that you went through in the suit of wands. So this means that there's also tiny little tedious situations. There's tiny little pockets of destruction happening in the middle of all of this change and in the middle of what seems like an obstacle. So this is actually really good news. But Archangel Rigel is here to say to be fair in all situations. That's one thing that's going to resolve a lot of your conflict. So you guys may also be gifted, spiritually gifted as well, with the ability to solve conflicts, with the ability to be a diplomat in a sense. And then we have here Archangel Mallory. Remember who you are. Take action when you are ready. Remember who you are and take action when you're ready. Take action when you're rested as well. Take action when you have the energy to take action. But a lot of you guys, you've been blessed. I guess it's a spiritual power of yours, this Ten of Wands right here. Like I said, strength keeps coming to mind with this Ten of Wands. So a lot of you guys are blessed with this really incredible amount of stamina where you just don't know how to stop. You know, it's like no matter what's going on, the whole world can throw itself at you. And if there's one thing that is not going to happen, is my pile 4s do not give up. Not even when you're tired, not even when you're feeling doubtful, not even when you're outnumbered. You guys don't give up. And that's another spiritual power as well. And then we have here Archangel Muriel. Trust in your own wisdom. See, have faith in your psychic impressions. Yeah, that wisdom was like I was just talking about. Some of you guys are just like a natural diplomat, and that's just another spiritual power of yours. And underneath the deck here, we have Lady Gaia. Your challenges are lessons. See, you are loved and welcome on earth. Your challenges are simply just lessons, but there is a really sweet cosmic gift coming from these lessons and from you closing out this karmic pattern, this karmic cycle. Let's see, let's get another couple cards here. Then we also have here the card Handwriting Authenticity. So authenticity is kind of bringing me back to that earlier message that I gave you guys, where I said many of you guys are able to sense what somebody is struggling with behind closed doors with this authenticity handwriting card right here, as well as too, some of you guys have a rare spiritual power or a unique gift where your angels actually speak to you through writing, like words, like handwriting. Most of us in the collective, we experience like what appears to be like just jumbled up words and messages and symbols and shit when we're talking to our spiritual team. For my pile 4s, for some of you guys, actually for most of you guys, what I'm feeling is you have the ability or you have the gift to be able to easily translate the messages that are coming through to you from spirit very, very easily. So it may come through to you as very strange symbols and signs, but you guys are definitely able to translate all of that very simply, very, very simply. Then we also have here Hydromancy Illusion that came out of the deck. Literal first message that I picked up from you was that you guys are very, very tapped into the superconscious, and the message about Neptune came through. And Neptune is a planet of illusions because she brings all the different dimensions, all the different realities, all the different experiences, and energies and entities together in one space. So this is about you guys having the ability to see the authenticity of illusion. Because isn't it funny how we got authenticity and illusion at the same time for you? So you guys are able to see completely through the illusion to see what's authentically at the core, or authentically at the authentic essence of someone or something or an entity. You guys are very, very gifted with that. That's another rare, unique spiritual power of yours. But pile 4, this is all that I'm seeing for you guys. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, amazing spirit, for these messages. Hopefully you all come back to visit sometime soon. And until next time, stay safe, healthy, blessed, and keep conquering the world. Bye, guys.